Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show, driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Let's get to our final week of the football picks. It is week 16. That means you're playing for a PIAA State Championship. We'll start things off in Quad A. St. Joe's Prep takes on Pittsburgh Central Catholic. Well, the Vikings have been undefeated this year. St. Joe's Prep, it's been a good year for them out of Philadelphia, but I think they're going to run into a buzzsaw as Pittsburgh Central Catholic. That's my pick this week in Quad A for the state championship. Move over to AAA. Archbishop Wood, they took care of the Berwick Bulldogs. On the other side of the bracket, Bishop McDevitt. They're out of the Harrisburg area. I'm going to take Archbishop Wood, a team from the East, over Bishop McDevitt in AAA. We move to AA. I'm a Charter. AA champion from the East, well, they're going to take on a team in the West in South Fayette, and they've been able to score some points, but I think Imhotep Charter maybe has a little bit too much. Another East team, and we'll take them, Imhotep Charter. Let's move on to Single A. Well, this is the matchup everybody wants to see. There are more broadcasters for this game than all the other games in the PIAA combined. They're like 4 or 5 radio stations, a couple of internets, and so this is getting a lot of attention. And two very similar teams, North Catholic and Old Forge, two teams that like to run the football, two teams that are physical, two teams that have some kids that can make plays. Well, North Catholic, they get it done with a couple of 1,000-yard rushers this year, and they grind it out. And their coach made a comment saying this could be the fastest game in PIAA history because there's not going to be a whole lot of balls thrown. It's going to be cold. They're going to grind it out. Brandon Yascavage for Old Forge is going to try to pound the holes and see if he could break one here or there. Bobby Rinaldi, see if he could pound one up the middle a couple times. He was slippery last weekend. You got Shane Schuback, who could do so many things for you. And, of course, a nice job last week by the quarterback as well for Old Forge, and what a job that Jake Minetti did and coming up with that big touchdown pass for him at the end of the game and making sure they sealed the deal. And, of course, the offense and defensive lines for Old Forge. Hey, North Catholic is undefeated. Old Forge's only blemish is to a team that made it to the state final last year in Dunmore. This is going to come down to special teams, who makes the least amount of mistakes, turnovers will be huge, and who wants it more. It's evident both teams want it. This could be one of those 2-point games, a 1-point game, a dramatic finish, something like that, but expect a low-scoring football game on paper, at least between these two. Wouldn't be surprised if we see one of those, 8-6 or 8-7 type football games when Old Forge and North Catholic get it on Friday at 1 o'clock at Hershey Park Stadium. You want my pick? Go Blue Devils. Old Forge, victorious and a state champ. That's my prediction here on the John Mendola Show, driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers.